for editing purposes. Bam. This is my Welstra deck profile. Welstra is a deck that I picked up specifically because I didn't know when to pop the Divine Skill on like anything I played, and Welstra is very cut and dry. I'm like, when do you do it? When you ride the first time. Pretty simple. But I found myself liking it a lot. So getting into the deck, your ride line stays the same. Freiheit continues to be the thing that the deck revolves around. This is the guy that you need to kind of do everything you want to do. And if you don't have him, it's not as good. That said, the tools that Welstra got in the deck include this dude, Bowen. So, grade 2 and placed on rear. If you have a Blitz Vanguard, so that includes your grade 2 of the rider. And your order zone does not have a grade 2 product, put a card from your hand into soul, search your deck for one grade 2 product, put into hand and shuffle, and then also if your order zone is 2 or more products, he gets plus 5 base shield. Now, what you want to be doing on turn 2 is using Uber's effect to operate a product. If you do not have a product to operate, it gets real awkward real fast. Your grade 1 searches a product with the same grade of your opponent's Vanguard. Mm-hmm. So if you go first, it means you're searching a 1. If you go second, great, you can search a 2. But what Bowen is used for is to search Lubetzal. And Lubetzal is very important for your mid-game and early game, where now you have basically like I just have extra copies of Lubetzal, basically. Which means I don't run as many copies anymore. Before it's a 4 of, now it's a 2 of. I don't know if it's going to stay that way, but I think basically like how many copies of Bowen do I want to run? If I want to run less, that means I would up the number of Lubetzal copies. Because I hated running Troll, which was the blue-haired lady that like you have to counterblast to operate something, and most of the things yeah, so it was like a counterblast 2 for Frymax, which is like I don't want to do that. And you can't do the laser, and operating Lubetzal, great, I got a draw in the battle phase for a counterblast 1. Huzzah. The blonde lady also wasn't great either because she was like sapping your soul to do stuff. And it was like, oh, when you operate something, you can, counterblast to draw 1. Great. Same problem as Troll. So I think I would prefer Bowen A because it means you can get more soul in the early game, and B, it just has the consistency of setting up Lubetzal. So pretty cool new tool we got. Next up of like new things that are important. This guy, Blitz Security Varnished. Now, when he's placed on rear, if you have a Blitz Vanguard, choose a set order from drop and either put it on bottom of deck or into soul. Which means that you can, mostly because you put the doghouse that you search into soul when you discard it for something. Not always, but most of the time. And then this can just kind of recycle that. It's more ways to get soul to use Fry's ability to operate products. So, good job. And then the other effect is when your Vanguard with Welstra with the Divine Skill attacks, you can Soul Blast and retire him and operate a product. So we now have a product operate, much like Fry, that is tied to a Soul Blast. At the cost of losing him instead. I like this guy a lot. I need to test him more before I can really get a handle on, like, is this, a 3 of? Do I want to max him out? Is he a 2 of? I'm not sure. So far, he looks promising. It just kind of, like, again, bridges the gap for Welstra between, like, they have a really good win con, and the consistency leading up to that is very spotty. And I think this and Bowen help bridge that gap. In regards to everything else, the deck is more or less the same. You keep the Elf Ears Lady, you keep Dogman, which, by the way, like, this now with, what's his face? With Varnest in the deck that pushes out Bulbul Line for good, this is now your countercharge engine, which can be a problem, because if you, like, damage them all, no countercharge for you. But that also means that cards like Varnest now pull their weight more, because now your operates are not tied to a counterblast. With Varnest and Welstra being 2 operates per battle phase, along with Fry, of course, it means that you can kind of experiment a little more. And of course I'm going to do that. But this is the deck as it is now. Now for people who are going like, well, what about the rest of the cards? What they do? You know what the cards do by now. I'll put the deck log code, here it is here, but I'll put it in the description if you want to go look at it for yourself. So leave a like, leave a comment. Thanks everybody. We'll see you next time.